Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Today I'm going to be looking at the Starfinder Core Rulebook Pawn Collection. So this is another set of pawns, which are like the cardboard 2D miniatures for, like they've shown some off in the past for Pathfinder, and I did a video around Christmas time just showing off some of the stuff from the Alien Archive pawn box. So this is a product along the same lines, but it is slightly packaged differently, and I'm going to be sort of giving my thoughts on this pawn collection versus the idea behind the pawn box. So we'll just set that aside for now and just taking a look. So what this is, just going on the back here, it says, open the shuttle bay doors and bring your science fantasy adventures to life with this beautiful pawn collection. Designed for use with the Starfinder role-playing game or any tabletop role-playing game. Within the Starfinder Core Rulebook Pawn Collection, you'll find 100 unique creature pawns, including members of all core races and classes, perfect for representing your next character or deadly foes, as well as bizarre alien monsters to aid or challenge your players. In addition, you'll also find 15 unique starship models from the Starfinder Core Rulebook to help you better track the laser-filled chaos of space battles. Best of all, this set contains multiples of most pawns, so your heroes will always be able to face off against a horde of space goblins and security robots, or blast their way through a fleet of warships. Printed on sturdy cardstock, each pawn slots into a size-appropriate plastic base from the Starfinder pawn's base assortment, making them easy to mix with traditional metal or plastic miniatures. The Starfinder Core Rulebook Pawn Collection is the best way to ensure you've got the perfect character for every Starfinder role-playing game encounter. And it just kind of gives the list here. I'm not going to go into all the detail, but it does say here the Starfinder Core Rulebook Pawn Collection includes pawns suitable for representing player characters, allies, enemies, starship, mechanic, drones, aliens, and more. While creature pawns are broken out by base size, all starship pawns use medium bases, from the tiniest fighter to the largest warship. So here, like I said, we just got the, it's still all sealed up here. We got our list of contents, what's inside there. Now, the pawn box had 16 sheets of miniatures, and this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So this has 8 sheets, 8 sheets of cardstock in there. We'll open it up here in a moment. But I do want to just kind of compare this to the actual box set. For starters, we have a US price, if it will focus in on it here, of $24.99. Now, I think it was around $30 Canadian, or a little over 30. This is one of the items that I got as part of the Giant Robots Boxing Day sale, which was buy two get one free. The GM screen is the free item that I did yesterday. This is one of the ones that I actually had to pay for. Now, by comparison, so this is 8 sheets for $25. This box set is $44.99 US. Again, if I can get it to focus there. And it contains 16 sheets of punch-out counters. So, as well as the bases. And that's one of the core things that I really wanted to kind of discuss here, because the fact of the matter is that I don't, like, as much as I love the Starfinder pawns or the Pathfinder pawns in general, this is not the way that I want to receive them. This is not necessarily the most ideal way to collect these, because now you're going to have to purchase the bases separately. And I'm glad that they did the Alien Archive as a box set with the bases inside, and I'm hoping that that's the way things sort of continue. Either that or to have some bases at least included in the product. So that would be sort of my biggest negative. I'm not quite sure what the price of the bases are, because they're very difficult to find here. I was able to find the pawn collection, but I couldn't find the base assortment anywhere. But I want to say it's probably between $10 to $15 US. So again, it's just an extra cost in order to get the bases as well. Now, the positive is that if you have other products like the Alien Archive pawn box, or I also have the NPC pawn set from Pathfinder, they're all the same bases, so they do work. So if you have other sets of Pathfinder pawns or the set of Starfinder pawns, then you can use the bases from there. But if this is your first time picking up a pawns product, it's a little bit disappointing that you have to buy the bases separately. And it feels kind of like a bit of a cop-out or a way to force your consumers to purchase multiple products and pay more. Again, the box set is less than twice the amount, so $25 versus $45. So for an extra $20, you get the box set, a set of bases, and you get twice as many sheets of punch-out counters. So again, I can't overly recommend this unless you have a bunch of other bases already, and you have the ability to purchase this. I would say probably for less than the retail price, because paying $25 and not being able to use it for that $25 US purchase, or over $30 Canadian, is a little bit of a disappointment unless you have the other products. But that said, I do have the other bases, and just in case you're wondering, I will just open this up here. And so these are the bases that the box set comes with. So you've got your huge bases, your large bases, and then you've got your medium bases. And for some reason, I'm not quite sure why, but for some reason, one of these is colored orange. And I don't know what the significance of that is. Like, none of the other ones have different color bases, so I don't know why you'd want an orange one, but that's what comes in the Alien Archive pawn box. Now, like I said, that said, let's just go have a look, and we'll open this up, and we'll take a look at the individual sheets themselves, because as much as I'm a little disappointed in the cost versus the lack of utility out of the box, I still like the product idea overall, and these tend to be pretty good looking things. So this is going to be a little bit difficult, so I'll get the cellophane ripped off here, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got the plastic off here, so let's have a look at what comes with this collection. First of all, the paper sleeve is just that. I don't think it has any information. It may have the Open Gaming License. Yeah. So it has the same OGL information that was in the Game Master screen paper slipcover. I know that, for this, something that I don't think a lot of people are overly concerned with. I like to have these because, as a collector, I like to have everything that comes with it. But anyway, so let's just have a look at some of our things here. All right, I'm not going to go over all of these in detail, but you can just kind of have a look here. So we got a bunch of androids on this sheet. So we got like android abolitionist, android ace, battle mage, bodyguard, corporate techno mage, crusader. So again, some pretty cool stuff there. And we got the ships along the bottom. So there is the Blackwind Sepulcher. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that, but anyway. So this is the first sheet. Okay, and we got our second sheet here. Now, what's interesting is that this does include some things from the Alien Archive player character classes, or not classes, but races. Basically, look, the contemplatives are in the Alien Archive. They're not in the core rulebook. So it's kind of cool that they had the foresight to know that this was going to be sort of one of the player character races that would be available in that book. So they included that. We've got some dwarves, some drones, elves, the necrovites, half-elves, half-orcs. So this is sort of your like Pathfinder legacy races. And just some more ships on it there. Okay, and here we have some humans. So we got the envoy, gunfighters, got a couple of those. There was a human envoy on the other sheet as well. Human knight of Galarian, human pilot, priest, human Solarian, sellsword, sage pirate, or space pirate, not sage pirate. It's really shouldn't be. I should try to be reading these off to the side of the camera, not try to read them through the screen here. Human Starfinder, steward, And I do like that some of them have, like, the Starfinders are numbered, 1 and 2. I don't know what the significance of that is, but at least it kind of separates them a little bit. I kind of wish that they would have had all of the similar artworks numbered, just in case you're using them for encounters. And that way you know which one has which hit points, but still. Some more ships. Kasatha. 4-armed creatures. Hell Knights. Solarian. Outlaw. Negotiator. A couple more ships there. Alright, and just gotta keep going here. Like, so I'll just show them off very briefly. I'm not going to spend too much time. If you want to pause the video and kind of see them maybe in a little bit more detail, then certainly feel free to do that. Combat technicians, hackers, there we go. I'm not a computer person, but my fiance is, and if she's not really big into role-playing games, but if I could get her to play a hacker, she may enjoy that. Some more ships, some Vesk. Alright, moving on here, some more Vesk. I actually kind of like that race. On Thursday, I think it is, I want to try to make a first level Starfinder character, and I think I'm going to make a Vesk soldier, and I might give him like the mercenary background. And here we got some small size creatures. So we got our mouse people, some drones, gnomes, a space goblin. And I don't know the significance of the different colors. That may be a way of marking which one's which. Actually, maybe that's something that was on all of them. I never actually noticed that. So yeah, it looks like each of the similar ones, if they're not numbered, they do actually have different colored logos there. I don't know how I didn't notice that when I was looking at them, but there you go. So that is a way of distinguishing which one's which when it comes to hit points and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I got a whole bunch of little mice people, and then the last sheet is just some large creatures or ships, mostly ships. I think there's only 2 creatures on here, but so there you have it. Just the 8 sheets of Pawns. So overall, like I said, I love the Pawns product. It's a great way of building up a large collection of items you can use to represent things in combat. Now, it's not going to have the visual appeal of actual 3D physical miniatures, obviously, but for someone who's not that concerned about having like miniatures, these are great products, and I really, really like them, and I think very highly of them. For instance, like, you know, because I have these, it makes me feel a lot more comfortable running a Starfinder role-playing game at some point in the future. And for me, that's kind of an important thing, because I want to get some use out of this. I actually kind of want to get into Starfinder. I'm really enjoying all the things that I have so far. So having these pawns is going to be great when it comes time to actually try to run some of these things and run these games. And, you know, combat can get very confusing. So it's nice to have this sort of thing here. It would have been nice to have had some traditional vehicles as well, only because vehicle chases and vehicle combat is a thing. But that is something that could be done in a future product if they don't have any other pawns. I think these are the only 2 pawn sets that they have out right now. So, so the positives and negatives. So the positives are you got a great collection of things. This is geared mainly towards your player characters, though there are a few monsters that a game master can use to, you know, do some basic combats and stuff like that. Combined with the Alien Archive pawn box, you've got tons of great things that you can use, and you can even probably go back and use a lot of the Pathfinder pawns, especially for monsters, since there are rules for bringing monsters from Pathfinder into Starfinder. So that's great. You know, you got 8 sheets, you got quite a few different pawns that you can use, so you got some variety. You got, you know, all the different races represented that are in the core rulebook, as well as I think they have at least 1 or 2 each for each of the core classes. Which again is absolutely fantastic. The downside really comes down to what I had mentioned earlier, is that this standalone, if this is your very first Pawns purchase, then you can't use this out of the box unless you can devise a way to stand them up. You can purchase the Pawn base assortment or collection or whatever they call it as a separate thing. But again, I don't like that practice. I don't think that that's necessarily the best way to go. Even if they only had, like, say, for example, one of these packages that had a bunch of medium bases, and let's just say you had 1 or 2 large bases, just enough to at least get some of these in there. There could have been a way to package this in. It's wrapped in cellophane anyway, so why not have some of these just on the back or something. This should have been probably in a box set as well. Just because, again, you want those bases included. So if you don't have any other pawns from the Pathfinder or Starfinder game, then you have to purchase something else to use this. And for me, that, again, is just the biggest negative, and the thing that I really don't like. And I don't want to see too many of these collections, because honestly, the price isn't that much better. For $25 US, you're getting half as many pawns and no bases as what you could get if you paid an extra $20 to get the Alien Archive box set. So you could have, spent a little bit more and gotten twice as many sheets of pawns and the bases that go with them. So that's sort of my biggest downside. But if you can find this, if you have some of these other products, then you probably have a ton of bases. If I use these, I'll probably pull the bases out of my Pathfinder pawns, my NPC pawn box, although there's no large bases in there, but I don't think very many things here used a large base, so that's perfectly fine since all the ships use the medium ones. So that's, again, sort of the biggest thing. If you can find this at a sale price, so if you can find it for less than the retail, then it's a perfect product to pick up. If you can find it on any sort of sale, it's great. And I didn't mind paying for it because I was going to get something, an item for free as well. So for me, I feel like basically, even though the GM screen is the item that I got for free, this is the one that I feel probably should have been the free one, just because of what you end up getting. But anyway, those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Are you okay with the pawn collections just coming with this little slip cover and having to buy bases separately or use bases from other sets? Or are you like me and you feel as if this is sort of a way to force your consumers to spend extra money? So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. I look forward to reading any and all comments. And thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.